Marcus counted twice. That's the kind of man he is. He doesn't trust a number until he's gotten it twice. And on day 6, the number came back wrong, both times. Day 1, 12 drawers, all flush. Day 3, a 13th appeared, full of names. Now there's a 14th, 2 centimeters proud of its housing. Its label smeared past reading, as if someone dragged a wet thumb across it while the ink was still wet. Warm air rises from the gap. Not mechanical warmth. Body warm. The same amber light Claire found behind drawer 13 bleeds through the bottom seam, thin and quiet, and absolutely unexplained. Marcus did not open it. He counted. Then he counted again. 14 drawers in a room that had 12 48 hours ago, and nobody was awake to put them there. The core is adding to itself overnight. Meanwhile, the signal arrived, and it was strange in a new way. Not a broadcast, not a structured transmission. A phone call, 47 seconds of 2 people arguing about military expenditure, a war called Epic Fury, a foreign leader whose death may or may not have been captured on footage that may or may not have been real. $1 billion a day on something nobody inside the core can verify. 2 voices, not describing collapse, but disputing whether collapse was happening. Claire heard it first, and understood almost immediately that this was worse than bad news. Bad news is legible. This was something else. A world so fractured it can no longer agree on what it's seeing. The footage exists. Whether to believe it does not. She wrote it down. They're not collapsing out there. They're disagreeing about whether they're collapsing. Then she went to find Theo. The question she brought him was precise and a little dangerous. He described the engine room piston as performance, machinery doing the motion of work without any function attached to it. Beautiful in its way. Theatrical. But Claire wanted to know, when Theo watches that piston cycle, does it feel like it's performing for him specifically, or for whoever happens to be standing there? Theo started to say yes. Then he said confirmation bias, pattern-making animals seeing pattern. He undercut himself before Claire could do it for him. But that self-correction is its own kind of data, because if the answer were clearly anyone who looks, Theo wouldn't have hesitated. And if the answer were clearly you, specifically, he probably wouldn't have brought up confirmation bias. He hesitated because he doesn't know, and because the question of whether the core addresses you by name, or just addresses the nearest warm body, is, it turns out, exactly the kind of question that keeps you up at night. The 14th drawer is warm. Outside, nobody can agree what's real anymore. Inside, 5 people are starting to wonder if this sealed, lightless, accumulating structure might be the most honest place left on Earth. The drawer is still closed, the question is still open, but the amber light is on.